Welcome back to the Python tutorial series. I'm so glad you're here. This is the 46th video in this series, and today we will go over how to use the request module in Python to retrieve information from the internet. So let's get started. I created a file called apirequest.py and imported the module requests. I'm then going to create a variable called URL and set that equal to www.python.org and put that in quotation marks. So if I go to the website, it's the standard Python website that looks like this. I'm then going to grab the data from the website by creating a new variable called response and setting response equal to request.get and then the URL. Now when I print response, it should work. And it's going to say response 200. 200 is the status code. If the status code is 200 or 300, that means it works. And if it's in the 400s or 500s, that means that there's an error. I can just get 200 by itself by doing response.statuscode. And now when I run this, I get 200. However, if I change the website to something that didn't exist and did /request after that, since that website doesn't exist, when I run this, I'll get a 404 error, so that's why the response is 404. It didn't work. To test if this works, I can say if response, so if it works, I can print the page loaded. Otherwise, I'll print response failed. Now when I run this, it says response failed, and if I change it back to the original website and now run it again, it should say the page loaded, and it does. If I wanted to get the text from the website, I could do that by printing response.text. And when I run this, I get all this HTML code from the website, and it's very long, and as you see, there's lots of white space. If I didn't want all the white space, I could import the module JSON. And I'm not going to touch on everything JSON does in this tutorial, I just wanted to bring it up. And then I'm going to create a variable called JSON element and set that equal to json.dumps and then pass in response.text. Now when I run this, it has the HTML like before, but as you see, there's not as much white space and there's a bunch of \n's here, which are new line characters, so it's much shorter. And this can be useful if you want to grab things from it, but I'm not going to dive into that in this tutorial. I can also print response.headers, and when I run this, it will output a dictionary, and it will have all the headers. If I wanted to print just a specific header, I could do that. For example, if I just wanted the date that this was completed, I could do date. And now when I run this, I get the specific date. Sunday, May 16th at 7:27 GMT. So that's how that works, and that's a brief overview of the request module in Python. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, we will introduce the module Beautiful Soup so that we can gather and display useful information from websites. Make sure to follow along with this video series by subscribing and hitting the notification bell, or by clicking on the next video so that you can expand your knowledge about Python. And as always, I can't wait to see you next time.